Hey guys, Hecon's here with another World of Warcraft gold making guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at our third profession in the 8.3 gold making series, and that profession is blacksmithing. It was a bit lackluster in Legion since we had artifact weapons. However, it's been a solid gold maker in BFA. We don't have any Black Empire BOA items, or really an easy way to get weapons on a fresh 120, aside from grinding out the conquest cap. This means that there's always a demand for these pieces, and the weapons have been insanely profitable throughout the entire expansion. As far as 8.3 crafts, the biggest portion of your sales will likely come from the crafted plate gear as well as weapons. The item level 400 BOEs require a couple more expulsum to craft than the lower item level counterparts. This means you'll spend more time shuffling for expulsum, but generally these pieces should sell for a lot more, and likely have better margins as a result. Like with the professions that we've already looked at, the most cost-effective way to get expulsum is to craft hide spray linen bracers on a tailor, then simply mail and scrap them on an ult that needs the expulsum. Not everyone has a tailor, however, so the best alternatives are to do the same thing with either the leatherworking bracers, wait for world quests that reward expulsum, buy cheap greens and blues off the auction house to scrap, or as a last resort, you can look at scrapping the Monel hardened arm guards made with blacksmithing. This is likely going to be the most costly way to make expulsum, as ore is generally more expensive than the other mats, so using the blacksmithing bracers should be avoided. Now that we've talked a little bit about the current BFA crafts, let's take a look at one of my mailboxes and see what the sales are like. I was able to build up over 1 million gold in this mailbox over the past month, just from flipping 310s from islands and selling blacksmithing uncanny pieces. After that, we will take a look at the most profitable old world crafts to help supplement our income from blacksmithing. Here are sales from the past month or so from blacksmithing, selling the uncanny pieces, as well as flipping some of the 310 gear that you get from islands. A little bit over 1 million gold in sales on this realm. 1.07 in the mailbox in the last 30 days. For the two-handers like the deck pounder and the polearms, getting roughly 14.3k I guess. For the one-handers like the cutlass, spellblade, and shanker, I'm getting around 9.5k, so a little bit under 10k after the auction house cut. I do also sell some of the armors. I think someone tried to reset me on the shields here. 6.7k is a pretty good price on those, so quite happy about that attempt on the reset. But you can see the shields aren't selling for that much more after that reset, like 7.6k, so like 1k more. Yeah, but the weapons seem to be way more popular, as you guys can see. A lot more sales on both the one-handers as well as the two-handers. Getting like roughly 9.5 to 10k for the one-handers and like 12 to 15 for the two-handers like the deck pounder and the polearms. You can see a lot of sales at like 14k. Greaves seem to be pretty good as well. Those do take more expulsum, like the two-handers, so I'm able to command a price of like 14k for each of those. And then the items that take less expulsum, like 3 expulsum, roughly like 7k to, I'd say like 9.5k, like you saw with the one-handers. But really solid sales from blacksmithing, roughly 800k on this realm in the past month. And then like 200k from selling the 310 gear. Just do some light shopping. When I see any cheap, I buy them out. And then throw them up for way more. Usually I try and spend 1k or less for the 310 pieces. And you can see I'm selling those for way more. A lot of like 30k sales as well as like 50k sales on some of the pieces. Really nice sale on the Sabatons, 42.8k for those, and 30.8k for the leg guards. Also sold a Murgologo helm, 47.5k for those, and the Sorok scale headgear for 47.5k. Really happy with this mailbox. You can see blacksmithing is definitely worth it. As far as other recipes that you can craft with blacksmithing, I'd highly recommend taking a look at the reborn weapons. You do need to get your skill up in Pandaria blacksmithing, and then you do need to kill an NPC to get the recipe for the lightning steel ingots. And I believe you still get the recipes for the rank 1s, or the stage 1 weapons. You do need to craft the stage 1 weapon to learn the stage 2 recipe, and then craft the stage 2 to get the stage 3 recipe. The lightning steel ingots are on a daily cooldown, much like Jards and crafting the sky golem, as well as the 2 pets in engineering. So it takes roughly 30 days, give or take, to craft each of the stage 3 weapons. Ergo, the really nice profit on each of the stage 3 weapons. You can see some of the weapons on this realm are going for like 200k, 262k profit, which is insane. And you can see the sell rates aren't too bad. Some of them are 0.01, which is low, but you can see the Black Planar Edge Reborn, 0.03 sale rate. Most of the other weapons are 0.02. As I said, it does take a month to craft, so it is quite a long process, but it is something that you should be doing, using that daily cooldown every day. And then, yeah, actually the mats are really cheap right now, so definitely worth getting into. The lightning steel ingots are made with ghost iron bars, living steel, made with trillium, or ghost iron bars as well, if you have alchemy. Spirit of Harmony and Motes of Harmony you can just get off the auction house for really cheap. There are a lot of people in the Mist Pandaria zone with the N'Zoth invasions, so definitely good recipes to take a look at. And it doesn't take very long to unlock the Isle of Thunder and get the recipes, so definitely take a look at these. For other blacksmithing recipes we're taking a look at, I recommend some of the BC crafts, like the Fell Steel Longblade. You can see I have 2 of the recipes on this realm, up in the auction house anyways, for 313k each. I do also have a 3rd one in my bank, and I did set that one aside. The plan was to level this character to 120, but I'll probably end up using a boost since I have one on this account from the pre-order of Shadowlands, leveling up my Outland blacksmithing, and then learning the recipe so I can craft the long blades and sell those. You can see on this realm they're going for around 85k right now, and the crafting cost is around 36k if I were to buy all the mats off the auction house. So a little bit under 50k profit, minus the auction house cut, as well as listing fees, so probably like 45k total profit on a 36k cost basis. So easily doubling my gold on my investment, and definitely worth taking a look at. Do also have a bunch of other recipes for blacksmithing. Yeah, I think all of these are BC recipes that I got for really cheap. Not sure how much the cost basis as well as the profit would be on these, but if I do end up leveling up this character or boosting this character, definitely something I'm going to take a look at. You can see some of these recipes go for insane amounts. Blessed Bracers, you can see they have a region market value average of 117k, and I paid 4.4k for my recipe. I have one on the auction house, and I think it's my only one on this realm, so I may actually take this down and put it in my bank. That way I don't sell it, and I'll have it when I get my blacksmithing leveled up. That's going to be it for today's video. Blacksmithing, as you saw, can be very lucrative, whether you focus on current BFA crafts or old world recipes. Once you have your auction house and market saturated with uncanny gear, you should look to expand into other profitable markets like reborn weapons for Mist Pandaria and BC items like the Fell Steel Longblade. Some recipes are hard to obtain, but you should check your auction house for these recipes as you often get botters and people who do not know their value, throwing them up for cheap. As always, thanks a lot for watching, and a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon. Thank you Lionel for the 33 months, Nadim aka Stormy for the 11 months, and Rajesh for the 7 months. I also want to welcome and thank my newest supporters, TJ and Joshua. In the next video, we'll be taking a look at jewel crafting, and it's definitely one of my favorite professions, as it's insane for gold making. Look forward to seeing you all in the next video, and hope you all have a great week. Late.